Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Corey, better known as the Seaman, and I want to welcome you to another edition of the Seaman's Cinema Sit Down. We are in binge mode today because there is a certain series dropping later this evening that I feel like I should finish watching this show before I watch this one. What am I talking about? Why don't you pull up a chair, take a seat? We are getting ready to take a watch and dive in, spoiler-filled, into The Mandalorian Season 3, Episode 5, Chapter 21, The Pirate. And like I said, I'm in binge mode. This is one of them shows where I love The Mandalorian. I've been a big fan. It's one of the first shows I started like reacting to and like covering like full on when that dropped. So like it's always been a show that's got kind of like a special place in my heart. And for whatever reason, I can't remember. My life is nuts. I got through 2 episodes live. And then I kind of fell off to the point where I was like, I'm just going to have to binge later. And later never came until today. I'm off for what feels like the first time in forever where like I'm not trying to catch up on sleep or flip-flop the times that I'm awake or just jamming with all sorts of other things. I've got some time. I'm hanging with the pup down at my parents' house, dog sitting. I was like, you know what? I'm stoked for Ahsoka tonight. It's on at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is exciting. Those are normal operating hours, so it's not like I gotta wake up early. I was like, let's get in to the rest of the Mando. So we've watched 2 episodes today, and I gotta say, through 4, I'm really digging this season, and I feel like I wasn't hearing like the greatest things in the middle of the season, and much like a lot of Mandalorian seasons of the past, it seems like people came back around at like the end of the series where it's like everything kind of came together in the right way. I can't say that I've felt like we've had any filler episodes, even though the last 2 episodes have not directly dealt with Din Djarin in the middle. He's kind of been bookended on both ends. The same with Bo-Katan. And in those times where you're on screen, it's been a little bit more Bo-Katan building. But we had a whole episode dedicated to Pershing. And one of the other former Imperials, Alaya Kane, I think is her name. I could be wrong on the first one, but Kane is definitely her last name. And I really dug that, but it did definitely detract far away from Mando's story. It'll be interesting to see how that comes back in. And then last episode was really about the foundlings, focusing certainly on Grogu, but obviously some of the other foundlings that are at the covert of Mandalorian that Din is hanging out at. And what's cool is like the thing that I like in the elements that we've gotten in with Bo-Katan is bringing Bo there and kind of seeing her start to accept the way in certain ways since she saw the mythosaur. So I haven't felt like there's been any filler episodes, and obviously the Pershing episode was like almost a full hour, so like I appreciated that we were doing some world building and character building elsewhere because we got a dope, that's the action. The last 2 episodes has been fantastic in my opinion. The chase fighter sequence in episode 3 was wild, and then the whole Mandalorian fight in the air with that raptor in episode 4 was just stellar. So like there's been really good action. The last 2 episodes haven't been really focused on Din so much. But it's one of these things too where it's like I kind of felt this way with season 2 of The Bear, where it's like we were spending episodes with different characters. But certainly last episode, a lot of what we were dealing with Grogu obviously can tie to Din. And the only other downfall is that like you went from 58 to 32, and it was a kind of short episode. But I thought they accomplished a lot, and what we were given, I thought was very good. So I don't know, man. I'm digging season 3 so far. Chapter 5, we're back up to 43 minutes, so it's about a 40-minute, 38-minute episode, give or take. So that's a positive. And this one is titled "The Pirate," with the synopsis of: the people of Nevarro need protection from rampant pirate attacks. Okay, so this is. I've honestly been waiting and looking forward to a little like side mission for Din where we're gonna go back to Nevarro and help out with some pirate attacks. All right, I'm down for that. Hopefully Bo tags along. I've really enjoyed Katie Sackhoff this season, and like I said, the stuff that she's dealing with, hanging out with Din's people, and being accepted in because they both bathed in the waters. I've really enjoyed and thought was really rather interesting. So. I keep forgetting, like, you gotta stay in the Disney Plus app. Otherwise, if you let your phone, like, go into, like, sleep mode, it kicks you out, and you've got to sign back in all the way from the start. It's a pain in the butt. Anyway, and you're probably going, what are you pulling it up on your phone for? The TV here at my parents' house does not have Bluetooth capabilities. It's a little old, even though it is, you know, a high definition television. It's just before like all the 4K and stuff, and I don't know. The Bluetooth has never worked when I've been here, so I just sync up my phone and the TV together. Speaking of which, let's get the episode up for you guys, and let's not waste any more time and dive in to The Mandalorian Season 3, Episode 5, Chapter 21, The Pirate. Let's see, who turns on first? TV did.
So, what do you say? You make a very fine lawman.
Why not request one from the New Republic?
The worst thing we intend is to bow down to yet another far-off bureaucracy.
Also, Carl Weathers directed last episode. I thought you did a great job behind the camera.
Your cut of my boss's treasure.
There, the pirates.
They built this saloon.
Is there a problem here, Magistrate?
Having watched Rebels a lot recently, knowing that we're dealing with pirates, oh, now I can't. If we get Hondo this episode, I'm a freak out.
Surrender your ship and I'm spared your...
This guy.
Never trust a pirate.
Yeah, but every time we're dealing with pirates, I'm like, oh, is Hondo gonna show up? And we got a lot of Hondo, obviously, in Rebels. But things that we're seeing in the previously on, because I was messing with phone things, nods to Gideon. I'll be really interested to see if that means we run into him, or like how that's like the element of him being serving justice and all that with Paz. I would love a little Giancarlo this episode. But obviously going back to Nevarro, where we were dealing with pirates last time we were there. So whose ship was that?
Let's move the trade district closer to the shipping terminal.
That's a wonderful idea, High Magistrate.
Wait a minute. Where's the rails? We're going to be moving a lot of cargo in and out of here. Hold on a second.
Yeah, I love Carl Weathers. I love that he's gotten some nice bits already in this season. Whose ship is that? I guess that'd be the pirates. I'm so stupid.
Shall I begin negotiations? No. If we buy them off, that'll set a bad precedent. Yes. You get the citizens to safety. I'll handle this. Engineers, thank you. To be continued.
But I love how he looks after the people. This freaking guy.
I don't believe my eye. The voice sounds like Greef Karga. But all I see before me is a pampered nobleman dressed for the pomp of his wedding feast.
Believe your ears, then, and don't mistake my hospitality for weakness.
Yeah, tell him, Karga.
When he let down his guard on your planet,
He shot first.
That's what this is about. He shot first.
I will shoot
Oh, man.
first.
It's a nice little nod.
Navarro is now under the protection of the New Republic.
My charts indicate that Nevarro is an independent world. You are no longer under.
Ooh, rough bluff there.
The New Republic can't even protect the Mid-Rim from the pirate nation. This isn't Sabak. You can't bluff your way out of this one, Karga.
I thought
Don't hail me again unless it's to surrender.
Ooh, things are gonna get bad. Poor Nevarro, man. Can't just be left alone. Greef's done such a great job of building it up. That's just gonna get rained down on. Can't believe people weren't moving sooner. Like, I would have been running as soon as I saw that ship. Not when the freaking guns were dropping.
The escape pod is ready. I will lead you to the launch site. I won't abandon my city. We have to get the people to safety.
Save 'em, Greef. Feels a little endgamey there. The raining fire from above. The Mandalorian. Chapter 21, The Pirate. Where are we now? Where be this? This is very pretty. Ooh. Alright, we got pilots. Oh, my dude.
Can I use your viewer? Excuse me.
I love that he's gotten a lot more to do since season 1. Especially with no more Kim's Convenience.
Captain Teva, we have been attacked by Pirate King Korean Shark. You once offered that I might reach out to you, humbly requesting the New Republic to send a patrol to clear out the raiders.
Too bad.
Sub!
Bro's gonna make it.
I'm gonna forward this to Carson.
And that's his voice.
Permission to intercede.
They haven't returned a dispatch in weeks. They're swamped. They'll never get an answer in time.
Dude. Oh.
I like your attitude. Good luck.
Frickin' Seb. Oh, that's so cool. That's so cool. See, watching this ahead of Ahsoka was smart. It's one of my favorite rebels right there. And that whole band is so good. Obviously, R.I.P. Kanan. It would have been cool. It'd be cool if Freddie Prinze gets to be like a Force Ghost or something. If we get into Ezra's story at all during Ahsoka. It's like, it sucks that he doesn't get to be in the live action stuff, you know?
No. Do not put any
Oh!
part of the desk. That's my work area.
Freaking love him.
I'm requesting authorization and backup for a Delphi squadron in dealing with the pirate siege on Nevarro.
I'm going down to the commissary. Can I get you anything?
Thank you, I'm fine. I'm sorry, officer, you spent some time in the Outer Rim, right? Have you ever heard of Nevarro?
I have. Spent some time there, in fact. They have yet to sign the charter.
Uh-oh. It's not good.
What does that matter? You can't leave them defenseless.
Of course not. But we have a backlog of requests from member worlds that have priority. I don't even know if we have the
The
resources.
citizens speak of Moff Gideon occupying the town, and now a pirate king is attempting the same thing?
There you see her ears perk up.
I think that's a bit of a leap.
Is it a bit of a leap?
This isn't a rebellion anymore. We have a structure now. I work in requisition, so let's focus on what you require.
Okay. I'm requesting authorization and backup for dealing with pirates on Nevarro. Sir.
Request denied.
Perhaps the leaders of Nevarro need to understand why becoming a Republic signatory is...
I don't like her now.
Sounds like a rather imperial way of thinking.
Captain, you're out of line.
Is he?
You and your sword didn't see the light. You were captured.
No, I was liberated.
In any event, thank you.
Now you see why episode 3 is so important. She's got to play into this.
There's something dangerous happening out there. All these events, it's not coincidence. And by the time it becomes big enough for you to act, it'll be too late.
Smart man. I love that he's getting this stuff. Especially like following him on YouTube. His YouTube page is great. He is such a hardcore Star Wars nerd. And he does like unboxings and stuff on Sundays. It's like, when it was the cameo appearance, I was like, oh, that's so freaking awesome. And now like getting to see him, looks like he's gonna get an ep, you know what I mean? I'm about it. But like, Greef, where's the call to Mando, Holmes? Dire is, it's one word. Real bad. Doesn't look like a lot of people. It's a very, very tiny amount of people that got out of there.
They camp here for a short while. Help will arrive soon. I have sent a message to the New Republic. Help is on the way.
In the form of one X-Wing. Oh, he went to go get Mando.
Fortunately, someone I served with in the rebellion is amongst your rank.
Oh, the droid.
Thanks, R5.
The entire covert will now have to relocate.
Or we could kill him.
Oh, that sucks. Gotta relocate.
This man cut me a break once, and now I'm returning the favor. Clear out, Blue.
Greef Karga sent this holo message. They're about to blow Nevarro to hell.
And calling a strike. We don't even have ships.
Carson doesn't care. It's not your fight. I just came to tell you your friend is in danger. I know you'll relocate anyway, but you have my word. I will not reveal your location.
So what do you think?
Time to go save Greef.
He's right. I gotta help the guy.
You can't do it alone.
Coming with.
Now, many of you don't...
Oh, they're all gonna go. I guess that would make more sense.
I stand before you to petition an intervention to help rescue Nevarro before it's too late. The enemy that decimated this very covert were Imperial, not Greef Karga's bounty hunters. Perhaps it is time for us to live in the light once again, on a planet where we are welcome, and our children can feel what it is to play in the sunlight.
Like that, Mando? Oh, that's
Does anyone else wish to speak?
Bizla.
I was there on Nevarro that night. I fought against Greef Karga and his hunters. I saw my brothers and sisters fall at the hands of the Imperial butchers that hunted us in the sewers. I saw many die to save the life of this one tiny foundling. And now we are asked to sacrifice yet again. The question we should be asking ourselves is why? Why should we lay our lives down yet again? Because we are Mandalorians!
Yeah! Ah, boy, Bizla.
I have had my disagreements with this man, life to save my son. And Bo-Katan Kryze did not give up on my child's life, even when the rest of us did. These two are asking us to take up arms in the name of a brighter future, and I, for one, will take up arms to fight by their side.
Let's go. Friggin' Ward.
This is the way.
Yes. No Mandalorians love a fight, baby.
This is a Comrack-class fighter transport. I'll use this to drop you in, and you will operate as a tight military unit. Dinjarin and myself will reinforce from above. If everyone acts as they should, we can use the element of surprise and defeat an enemy that outnumbers us.
Love seeing Bo. Like I said last episode, seeing her get to be like a general.
It has aerial bombardment capabilities. The N1 will destroy...
Her tactics are quite strong.
Nevarro is an independent planet,
Hi.
and no longer under remnant Imperial or
You're on camera.
protection. But it's that very independence that makes it appealing for you to settle. You lived there once, hiding in the sewers, but now you can be heroes.
You can be heroes just for one day. Oh, so excited all the time. Hi. Alright, chill, dude. Well, that was not necessary. Freaking pirates. I need some Hondo. We could very well get Hondo in Ahsoka. Oh man. I've been able to live free and peacefully.
Captain, there's a starfighter off our port bow.
Boom.
It's the Mandalorian. Man the gunnels.
Yeah, Mando. So fast. They just shoot themselves? That explosion didn't seem to leave the ship.
All of you to return.
Mandalorian. Blast that ship.
He's so good.
Thanks for your help, Mando.
I decided to take you up on your offer for a tract of land.
Be careful, my friend. They've got you outnumbered 10 to 1.
Oh!
I
Haha.
like those odds.
Bet you do.
Love watching Mando get to work.
The Corsair's on me. Coast is clear.
Approaching drop point.
Yes. Let's go.
First team away.
Right, this is gonna be little Babu Fricks. Yeah, this is so what I was hoping the season would be, man. Like getting to see the Mandalorian like in action. Yeah, the action has been top notch for me, man.
I'm on the N1.
Din, what's your position?
I'm over the flats with snub fighters in pursuit. You're clear to start your run.
And like what would have been a side mission is turned into a big plot point for the story, right? Like now the Mandalorian are gonna get a home out of this.
Right, come in. The starfighter's a decoy. There's a secondary attack.
This is looking a lot tougher. Maybe first thought for the old Mandalorian.
Engaging the gauntlet.
There he is. He's so fast. This is one of them episodes that feels like a Filoni like cartoon episode. We've seen these types of things with villains like this. Oh yes, send the armor into it. Hell yeah. Yo, let's go. Tongs and a hammer, very useful. There we go. Get to work.
Advance. On me.
The former statue. And now all the people in Nevarro on the outside, like that. Where are you gonna go? Nowhere. Who was on that?
There's only one snub fighter left, Captain.
Look like a Mandalorian surfing on that.
But it's time to part ways.
He's bailing.
You coward! Sir, we're down to our last engine.
Well,
We have to retreat. In a puffer, big fry. Open fire.
guess it's gonna be a down with the ship. Everybody goes. Uh-oh.
He's targeting the townspeople.
You've got to take them down. Focus fire on their last engine.
Well, I gotta run, people, run! I feel like everybody in Nevarro reacts very late. I love those camera shots. Down he goes. Bye-bye! Dope. And a big-ass explosion. Yeah! There it is. Little Babu Fritz, dude. So friggin' ugly, yet adorable. That with a lot of creatures in the Star Wars world, right?
Thank you to all of you, and especially to our fine Mandalorian liberators, to whom this planet is forever indebted.
Forever.
Mandalorians,
Ever,
I know
ever,
that
ever.
we have been on opposite sides in the past, but that is behind us. From this day forward, I, Magistrate Greef Karga.
Oh, that's hysterical.
Magistrate Greef Karga hereby cede all land from the western lava flats to Bullock Canyon to the fine people of Mandalore. You may no longer have a home planet, but you do now have a home. Welcome.
That's freaking awesome. Love that.
Welcome and thank you.
Good. Keeps Mando on Nevarro. Just where we like him.
The armorer wishes to speak with you.
Ooh. What's the armorer got for Bo? Back down in the old forge. Yep.
This was once the forge of our covert. I have been to the Great Forge on Mandalore.
I remember the forge well.
Here stood a simple one. They served the same purpose. Remove your helmet.
Whoa. What?
Do you respect my station?
I do.
Remove your helmet.
Interesting. Plate armor. What's going on here? Is this a test or...
Our people have strayed from the way, and it is not enough for a few to walk it. We must walk the way together. All Mandalorians.
I understand.
I was taught that the mythosaur existed only in legends.
This is so cool.
And yet, you saw it. It is a sign that the next age is upon us.
Bo's the rightful leader of the people.
Mandalore must all come together. You have walked both worlds. You are the one who can unite us.
Hell yeah, let's go! That's what we want, baby. That's like, and that's what makes that ask cool, because we've seen Bo turn over, you know? Everybody's caught off guard.
Bo-Katan Kryze is going off to bring other Mandalorians in exile to us, so that we may join together once again. Bo-Katan walks both worlds, and she can bring all tribes together.
They all got kneel? That would be freaking badass.
It is time to retake Mandalore.
Oh man, like, we were coming to the season. This is what I was hoping for. And like, yes, The Mandalorian is Din's story, but utilizing a season to tell the Mandalorian story is so freaking cool. Uh-oh. What is that? Looks like an Imperial... What do they call them? Like transports, right? Those are the three-winged ones? Yeah, dude, that is a transport.
Captain Teva to Lieutenant Reed.
Reed to Teva?
I found a derelict landing.
A shuttle.
The hull was breached. The vessel shows evidence of being attacked. Any reports in the area?
There's a record of a missing craft in the region. The details are classified.
What's going on?
R7, launch probe.
What are we gonna find in here? And could this be something that ties into Seb?
I'm sending you a transponder signal. Why don't you bounce it through the flag?
Right? Like, why would we drop Seb at the start of this episode, other than to just put him in the live action world ahead of Ahsoka?
It's a New Republic prison transport.
Oh, this has gotta be frickin'
I'll be damned.
Gideon.
Flight times match the ship transporting Moff Gideon.
I knew it. He never made it to trial.
There don't appear to be any survivors.
Where is he? Alright, so not rebel related.
This was an extraction.
Who were the perpetrators?
Scanning.
I'm only seeing the remains of the flight crew.
There appears to be something embedded in the cabin wall. Get in close on that.
What are we looking at? Who is behind it?
It's a fragment of Beskar alloy.
Are you saying that Moff Gideon was
Mandalorian?
Mandalorians?
Who? Peter Ramsey, well done. John Favreau on the writing on that one. Dude, that was great. I really enjoyed that. Like I said, you're definitely feeling like anytime you got like a scenario, like a captain of a pirate ship sitting above a planet shooting stuff, like get just a lot of the animated world vibes in this episode, which I love every time you feel those in these live action ones. Again, not a huge ep directly for Din, but the thing that I'm really digging about this season is that it's not about just Din. It's about the Mandalorian and as a whole, or I guess the Mandalorians. But I love utilizing that, and like, you know, you see the steps that connect the things that came previously, right? Like we get that whole episode with Katie M. O'Brien's character, and now I'm not gonna be able to remember the doctor's name. But you know, like you get the two of them, and it's really more to tee up her character, Pershing. played by Omid Abtahi, who I thoroughly enjoy every time he's on. But that one was more, I think setting up some stuff for him, but with the mind erase at the end and all that, you're really setting up O'Brien's story as Kane. And you end up having Paul Hyung-Sung Lee's character cross her path on his way to go find Mando. When he gets shut down to not bring a crew. If I can't bring a crew to Nevarro, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna hit up a friend, a Nar 5, and I'm gonna find out where the Mandalorian are and make sure that, hey, you know what? If I can't, I really dig that, and I dig that about the character. Like, if I can't go and do what I know is right? And that's one of the interesting things that we're starting to see here. Is while the Republic has gotten rid of the Empire and made things seemingly better, when you start talking about the Outer Rim or planets that aren't directly tied to the New Republic, you kind of see some almost Empire-ish type decision making going on. And I love that you get Paul Hyung-Sung Lee's character, who knows these people, right? Knows Greef Karga, knows Din Djarin. He's not gonna just sit there and let it happen. And he can't do anything by himself, so appealing to Din's friendship with Greef and the fact that he's somebody that he can trust, opens up an opportunity for Din to find a home world for his people. And it's one of these things that it would seem like Secret Invasion didn't do a great job of addressing, and Marvel kind of fumbled the idea of the Skrull being without a planet. But you translate similar bits of that storytelling over here where, you have another people who don't have a planet right now. And trying to find a home, is super important. And, rather than being hidden and being able to come out into the light and live above the ground again, not have to have this covert moving. I love using Nevarro for that, and Greef being a part of that redemption story, right? You go back to season 1, things are not great with the Mandalorian and Karga, and to see how everybody has come around since that first season is really cool. And those are the through lines, I think, with Mando that I appreciate probably the most out of anything that's been put on Disney Plus, is that you have multiple seasons where there are things that happened previously that now you're getting payoffs from, and you're seeing the growth of the character in the world of Din Djarin. It doesn't always have to be his story if he's just a part of it, and I love seeing him, go to the entire covert and be like, look, I can't do this alone. I need some help, and if we help, I think we could have a home. And then to see, Paz Vizsla step up and be like, I've stood opposite of Karga and this man, but I've also seen this man go to great lengths to help us, and Karga was really, part of trying to help save what now is the Foundling, and it's cool to kind of see those little victories, and then again to kind of the combo of Din and Bo, where we kind of get some Din stuff on the top, but on the back end, the stuff with Bo is so cool. And you can see it in Katie Sackhoff's face, man. When she takes that helmet off, having voiced and owned this character from jump, the places that they're finally taking her character, you can see how much that means to her. And I think it's really cool that she gets to be the person to do that character in live action, because she is, a live action actress. She's not just a voice actor. And that's something I'm really, really excited about for Lars Mikkelsen when we get to Ahsoka, because, Thrawn is he's got a very specific voice, and not just the voice, but the way he carries himself and the tactician that's mixed into what he can physically do, I think is something that having someone like Lars means a lot, and getting to see those actors, get those opportunities is a lot of fun, and you can definitely see how much this means, to Katie Sackhoff, and you can see why she would come around for this character, not just to show up, a little bit in live action, but to really get a story arc, and what's happening with her getting to be, the bridge between the Mandalorian that walk, with helmets off versus the ones that are this covert. And the idea of her being the one to bring them all together. things that were laid in the lines, in Clone Wars and Rebels, and getting to see us build that character to that place, is really neat. And, it's one of those where we know Mandalore is not poisoned. So is there a way that they could bring Mandalore back to life? Or do you just, build Mandalore now as a city on Nevarro? Either way, I just think it's really cool to see all of that for the Mandalorian. And this is another episode I really, really enjoyed. And this one, I think, had some really big, lifts, especially for the Bo-Katan character. So I'm really digging that. Not too much for Grogu this ep, but that's okay, right? This season is more than just Grogu and Din. And if I'm being honest, that's what I was hoping for. I was really hoping to tackle a lot of the Mandalorian story, and it's kind of cool to see them front and center, at least for me. So let's get to see Maniacs up, because we got 3 more episodes to get through to finish my catch-up ahead of Ahsoka this evening. Like I said, you got some really solid action all season long, and the action here is excellent when that's going on. I love, seeing the Mandalorian come in to help save Nevarro, and now have a new home, and seeing how this covert is evolving as people from the outside are interacting with them. And someone like the Armorer who can see, you know what? No, it's not just about this covert's survival. It's about the survival of all Mandalorian. And there's now a person here who was once a leader of Mandalore and has very badly wanted it back, has wanted to be that leader. And that's a person that people outside of this covert can look to and trust, and you could bring all the Mandalorians together in a new Mandalore. It'll be a city, an area of ground on Nevarro, but maybe in bringing back those people, who knows? Maybe there is a way to bring back Mandalore. But I love seeing this show tackle that stuff, because those things are just as important to Din's story as Din's story is directly. I love that Seb gets dropped in here as Paul Hyung-sung Lee's character gets a little time. I can never remember his name because it's something that doesn't just stick in my head. But I love every time he pops up. He's a hardcore Star Wars fan, so getting to see him get a little bit more to do was a lot of fun. And utilizing a moment of bringing him into this story to show Seb out in the world and what he's been up to since, Rebels Season 4 ended. Really a lot of fun. And I hope we get to see him again. I hope that wasn't just a nod. I hope he gets brought in some way, maybe in these last 3 episodes. Maybe gets pulled into trying to find Moff Gideon, which is hopefully where we're starting to go for this season. It's kind of our ultimate goal. Or maybe that is just setting up stuff for Season 4 or whatever is next if it's the movie. I don't know what is next for Mandalorian. But all of that stuff I think is really, really good. Tim Meadows gets a nice cameo appearance here. It's one of those, I know some people don't dig the cameos, and there's lots of them on Mando. But I think it's cool when you get to see people who love this material that are actors get opportunities to pop up in places. And, Tim Meadows is one of those perfect, character side actors for, a little bit like that. And he was, it's a very simple scene, but, it's a person that I recognize and that I grew up loving. So, I love getting to see them play in this world. But yeah, I loved all that stuff, and how, Lee is able to appeal to Mando to go help Nevarro out, and now that leads to a world and a home for the Mandalorian. And I'm really interested to see where we go forward with that story for Bo, as she, goes probably, you could now set up a Bo show where she's going and trying to find different Mandalorian to bring them back to Nevarro. But either way, wherever we're going to go next, I love that she's in on it. I feel like we're going to start shifting more back into Din's story, especially if Gideon is involved. And that tease right at the end gets me really excited to see, hopefully, that kind of showdown, because I love some Giancarlo Esposito. But everybody that pops up here is great. We get to see a little bit more of O'Brien, the Kane character, who I really liked in that one episode that we got. And now you can kind of see why we had all of that stuff in that episode, and I'll be interested to see how connected to Gideon's escape she is, because I don't think she's good, based on the things that we've seen. And erasing Pershing's mind would be something that is 100% beneficial to Gideon, I think. Unless, of course, it's the opposite, right? And she's afraid that Gideon could get his hands on him and get back into the cloning stuff, so you erase the mind. Who knows? I'm fascinated. I feel like she's a character that is bouncing on either side of the line, and I'm just so curious to see where we land on that stuff. But nevertheless, I think everything that we got in episode 5, chapter 21, The Pirate, was excellent. A lot of really good stuff, and I'm going 4 again. I just think this whole series as a whole has been like a rock solid 4 for me. And this season in particular is just like, I've been on a very steady, like everything that we're getting is really solid. So 4 out of 5 Sea-Maniacs for the Sea-Man. I'm really enjoying season 3 of The Mandalorian and looking very forward to these last 3 episodes. The question is what about you, man? Where do you land on Mando season 3? What did you think of episode 5? Do you like the idea of building out the Mandalorians story? I know I use Mandalorian as like a singular or a plural, kind of like deer, but I guess there's an S on there. So like, do you like the fact that we're utilizing time in the show to tell those parts of stories, to give Bo-Katan more and Din a little bit less? Is that something that's hurting the show for you? You know, are you here for Din and Grogu and not so much for all of this world building around a world that obviously is very important to both Din and Grogu, and where they fit inside that puzzle, I just think is really interesting. So do you fall in any of those realms, or is it not working for you? Anything you got, really, man. Good, bad, indifferent, whether it's cameos, whether it's Bo-Katan, whether, you know, it's, you know, Moff Gideon coming back. Good, bad, indifferent. Put it down below in the comments section. Look forward to talking to you guys down there. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up, and if you're new, you want to come hang out with Sea-Man anytime we're talking movies, TV, trailer, reactions, you want to see the rest of my reactions to The Mandalorian. If these are getting up in the middle of Ahsoka, which is very possible, and you want to see my Ahsoka coverage as we approach that this evening, and that's why we are binging today, you know, you can certainly do that right here. And the best way to know when that's going on is if I, you know, want to show a little love and support, join Sea-Maniac Nation simply by jumping over there, hitting that subscribe button, hit that little bell if you want those alerts. And until next time for the Sea-Man Cinema Sit Down, I've been the Sea-Man. I'm signing off. Peace! Oh, you guys are still here. You snuck up on me. You must be looking for more of this guy. Well, I got 2 video options for you, man. Right up here and right over here. And if you want all those Sea-Man goodies, well, hey, come join the squad right on over there, and I'll catch you on the next one.